Hey there guys, Ben here from Corner Flag Games, and welcome back to episode number 40 of the Hibernian Road to Glory career mode. So, there has been a little bit of action that we have already gotten ourselves through in this first part of the season. I've already simmed our way through the pre-season tournament, and we have just hit the start of the transfer window. So the plan is for this episode is to get right the way through to the end of the season, get ourselves as close to the Champions League final as possible. If we do not make it, then that is a complete bust from us. And by the end of this episode, we will know what our fate is as to whether we have succeeded or whether we have failed. So I'm now going to sim into the end of the transfer window to update you guys as to whether there was any more transfers that needed to be done. And then after that, I will sim my way through to the halfway point of the season so we can have a look at just how the team are getting on. So guys, without further ado, we're just going to get straight on in to this episode. Okay guys, so here is how our transfers went through by the time deadline day finished. So a few of these were made quite early on. So we picked up Gomez. He is a youngster, 20-year-old center attacking midfielder, 2.9 million he's worth. We're paying him 15.5 a week. He's done quite well. Another decent pickup there from the free agents. Next, we'll move from Nuremberg to Hibernian. It is Edward Lowe for the 5.8, and his value has gone up to 8 million in that time. 75 rated 24-year-old center defensive midfielder, which is a good start, on 31 grand a week. We did pick up next Nico Alvidi from Borussia Mönchengladbach for 23.7, a little bit over his valuation, paying him 45 grand a week. A 24-year-old centre-back from Switzerland. It is a good 81 rated signing, a youngster. Next, it is Slivka, who has made the move finally from us. He's gone over to Atlas, the 26-year-old centre mid, after coming back from his loan at a 67 rating. Valued at 1.1 million, and that is what we sold him for. He's currently being paid 8.4 a week. We move on to Ryan Porteous, who has finally left us. We got a little bit more out of his contract. Coming back from his loan, 68 rated, just wasn't going to do it anymore. 1.5 in the value. We sold him for 1.75, which is great. He's on 10.5 a week, and surprisingly on a 1-year contract. Tony Watt has gone out on a loan to Watford. The 73 rated 27-year-old striker didn't really grow as I really wanted him to, but he's still cheap on the wage at 3.5 grand a week of a 4.9 million valuation. Next, we have leaving us, it is Dario Mendy-Seca. Been here from day one of the first free signings that we managed to get inside the club. He just wasn't growing anymore, and we had quite a few left backs still sitting around. So he was one of the lower rated ones, so he leaves us. We managed to pick up 1.55 million for him, considering his value is at 1.1 for the 69 rated left back. Next, it is another free agent that is leaving us, and it is Osvaldo Rizaldo. We've had to sell him underneath his valuation because he was on a massive contract, 20 grand a week, so he's dropped now down to 19 grand a week, 29 years of age. Don't really have the use for him anymore, so we figured get rid of him, get a bit of scratch cash into the club. He's only signed a 1-year contract with Cardiff. And that is all the transfers that we have made. We've got a little bit of cash sitting there in the window, probably not enough to do any deals with, but I will come back at the mid-season break to update you guys on what is happening. Okay guys, so we are now roughly halfway through the season. It is the January transfer window that has just opened. So right here on the screen right now is the first stage of the Scottish Prem. We are behind Celtic by 3 points. In second place, Rangers hot on our tails, so are Hearts. And there's a massive gap between St Johnstone. In fifth, Aberdeen, Dundee, Kilmarnock, Motherwell, Livingston, St Mirren and Hamilton run out that one. As for the Scottish Cup, we are matched up against St Mirren. We haven't played that one just yet. As for the UEFA Super Cup at the start of the season, we did end up triumphing over Manchester United 2-0. So that's one piece of silverware before we even start. Now we'll move into the Champions League. As you can see, we did make it through to the round of 16. I haven't even looked at this yet. So from Group A, it was Madrid and Paris, Leipzig and Salzburg out. City and Milan, you see, Porto and Olympiacos are out. Spurs and Lyon, followed by Sporting and Dynamo Kiev. Atletico Madrid and Inter, with Ajax and Club Brugge missing out. Group E was Bayern and Juventus, with Everton and Shakhtar Donetsk falling away. Group F was Dortmund and Man United, absolutely killing it there, with Roma and Galatasaray falling out. Group G, which was our group, we go through completely undefeated, and I will say one of the games I did simulate against Barcelona, and we smacked them 5-0. It was absolutely fantastic. So we go down, scoring the most goals, conceding the very least as well. Barcelona not doing too well, but they did manage to claw their way through. Schalke were actually a harder team to play against than what Barcelona did. We only beat Schalke like 1-0, I think, both times. And Basel end up knocking out as well. Group H was Chelsea, PSV, with Seville and Lokomotiv Moscow. As for the round of 16, it is PSV and Dortmund, Juventus and Man City. We are drawn against the red side of Manchester, and Barcelona have drawn Chelsea. On the other side of it, Lyon have got Real Madrid, PSG have got Spurs, Inter have got Bayern, and AC Milan are going to be taking on Atletico Madrid. So guys, I will come back to you more than likely at the end of the transfer window. I am trying to get a couple of deals done over the line, but before we go too much further, I do have a couple of players that have been sold. So I'm pretty sure I told you about Mendy, Seka and Rosalvo. So Ivan Vujic has finally left us after being here. One of my favourite players in real life as well. For 2.75 million, he's left us and gone to Cardiff. Daniel Giraldo is also left us as well. He went for 3.4 million out to Stoke. So if there are any more deals that I can get across the line within the last couple of seconds of the transfer market, I will let you guys know. So I will be back more than likely at the end of the transfer window. Okay guys, so we move now into the end of the transfer window, and what a busy one it was. So firstly, it will be Anderson Talisca who moves away from us on a free transfer, but that won't come into action until next season, but he will be moving to Wolves. We shouldn't need him by then. Daryl Horgan has been sold to Bristol City for 1.25. It's been a massive fire sale here. Martin Boyle has also gone to Galatasaray for 1.1 million. Jack Cater has left us to go to Wolves for 8.5 million. To free up the money to bring in our next one, 15.5 million plus Mercado. We've brought in a Balanta from our rivals Basel in the group stage of the Champions League. He's an 81 rated defender. Yep, he's on 64.999. That's silly wages. But the value is 19.5. That's roughly what we ended up getting scratched for him anyway. So we've upgraded in that department. Hanlon has also moved on. The 32-year-old will be moving on a free contract at the end of the season. So that was our last bit of deadline day business. So guys, with that all done now, I'm going to push right on now and see how we can go to try and get ourselves towards the end of this season. So guys, I will resume with you guys soon. Okay guys, so we are now at the end of the season. So here how things panned out. So in the Scottish Premier League, here it is. We finished up first with only 4 losses for the entire season, 7 draws and 27 wins out of 38 games, scoring a total of 87 and conceding 21 with an overall points total of 88. Our rivals Hearts end up finishing in second, 10 points behind us. Looks like Rangers and Celtic have done the drop-off finally, but it's nice to see both rival clubs getting first and second and changing things up from the normal top 2 in this division. Third was Rangers, fourth was Celtic, and rounding out the top 6 with Motherwell and Kilmarnock. In the bottom group, it did finish Aberdeen, St Johnstone, St Mirren, Dundee, Livingston, and Hamilton dead last. Didn't look like too much changed in the way of those ones. So we'll now move across into the Scottish Cup, where we have a few surprises. Here it is. The winners were Rangers, in the end beating Celtic 0-0. We did get knocked out in the semi-final round by Celtic, losing 2-1. So not great in that one. We'll go back through the UEFA Super Cup, which was won by us at the start of the season. So that's very good to see. We'll move now into the Europa League. and find out what's going on in that competition. So, the final has been played, and in the end, it was Benfica taking it out over Sevilla. So, Josh from Crossbar Capers will be happy with that one. Liverpool did make it to the semi-finals with Wolfsburg, and a tight one there for Benfica and Wolfsburg as well. Who's getting knocked out in the quarter? Schalke, Saint Etienne, Genk, and Napoli. Quickly go through these. Nothing too important. We'll just quickly flick through them. Arsenal losing as well. So again, we'll just flick through these quickly just in case you guys want to have a look at the fixtures here. The group stages as well. I'll just quickly go through these. Now, we're not going to wrap up players for the end of this series. We're just going to go straight on in. Okay, so moving into the goal scoring charts and all those other sort of fun player stat things for the end of the season. And it is Ikpeazu from Hearts who has managed to bag in more goals than anybody else, scoring a total of 19 in 35 matches, whereas Kimberry for us comes in second, scoring 15 from 23 matches. Memphis Depay gets in there with 10 goals in 22. Talisca in ninth as well with 10 goals in 20. And we'll scroll down. Latif Blessing manages to get on there with 9 goals in 26 games. Carrasco does get on there with 8 in 22. Fantastic by the lads from Hibernian. We'll move across now to the assists, and it is Petrados and Carrasco with 6 in 22 and 23 respectively in 5th and 6th. Talisca's in there in 11th place with 5 in 20. Depay is in there in 17th with 4 in 22. Matarrita, who did well out on the left-hand side, managing to get 4 in 30 games. I didn't realise he played that many games. And that will be it for the assist. And now for the clean sheets. It is Claudio Bacchi from Hibernian that manages a 23 clean sheets out of 38 games. That is absolutely fantastic. I don't think... No, he didn't play a game. As for the yellow cards, that was won by Shinny from Aberdeen in the top spot, getting 8 in 36. Meekings also coming in a very close second. We'll go down the list and see if there is any there for us. No, we are very good on the fronts of discipline. We'll move to the red cards. Hopefully, cross fingers, we're not on here, but I'm pretty sure we will be. It is Augusto Cesar from Kilmarnock who's getting 2 red cards in 35 matches. Hodgson for Rangers in third. One red card in 3 matches. That is disgusting. There we are. Joseph Murillo in 16th place, getting 1 in 16 games. And that was it for us. Here it is, ladies and gents. We have made it to the Champions League final, where we will be facing off against Atletico Madrid. That is going to be an absolutely massive game. Massive, massive, massive game for us. But that one will be saved for a live stream later on. Okay, guys, so that about wraps up today's episode, that being episode number 40. It has currently taken me 4 hours to record this episode. Just over 4 hours. That is a mammoth undertaking. There is light outside. It is a new day from when I sat down to record. But, guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it and leave your comments and feedback down below. Don't forget to smack that subscribe button if you haven't already, and tick the little notification bell to be notified every time I upload a video. For all those that aren't aware, please jump on and join in all the fun and in all the banter on the official Corner Flag Games Discord channel. Links will be on screen and in the description below. And for all those that aren't aware, the Champions League final for this series will be done via a live stream. So make sure that you are following on my Twitch channel, and make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and tick the notification bell there to get the notification for when I go live with the Champions League final live stream. Links for that will be on screen and in the description below. And I'll be back with the next episode of the Hibernian Road to Glory career mode soon.
Oh yeah, everybody now.